from her before, and every time she does training, it's like, oh my God, she is so good at training. And one of the most consistent people, really, since she started in the Glamour Girls unit, always showing up, always turning an accomplishment sheet, always doing a little bit among her 5 other jobs. And so I'm so excited because she said, I have this idea about training. And I said, wonderful. When can you do it? So we got this all set up. And so I want you guys to give it up for Professor, mediator, state worker, personal trainer, foundation board member, and awesome, loyal friend extraordinaire, Jennifer Poole.
Yay, so thank you. All right, so thank you. So we're gonna go and do something a little bit different tonight. We're gonna talk about marketing, just in a general sense. And it didn't print out the notes I was trying to print out, so I'll wing this little part a little bit. So I want to talk to you guys about, I teach a marketing class, and I get a lot of complaints from people I've heard over the years about, oh, why does Mary Kay revamp stuff? Why can't I get the old product? Why did they change the packaging? Blah, 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 blah. A lot of it has to do with marketing. And then we hear, Denise posted it just the other day in Voxer, and so I popped it into my slides about how many touches it takes before someone actually buys something. This is all about marketing. So I want to start this off by asking you, did you watch Super Bowl commercials? Anybody? What was your favorite and why? Just quickly, what was your favorite and why? Heidi?
I don't even know. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I remember any of them, which is horrible. Oh, wait. No, I don't remember any of them.
Right. They didn't stick out to me this year.
I
Okay.
need to go back and watch them on YouTube.
All right. Anybody remember them? So this is part of the problem, right? Is you laugh at them, you enjoy them, but did anybody run out and buy the product? You don't even remember what it was, right?
Doritos and beer.
So obviously that one touch didn't do it for you, right? So my favorite one was actually the Amazon one. Okay. And if you remember the Amazon one, they had this dog, and every time they left the house, the dog ripped up everything, right? He was into the garbage, and he was tearing up at the furniture, and he was breaking the lamp. And so you see the family looking at this crate online, and they're like, yeah, I think that one's going to work for him, right? And then they pick up, the crate gets delivered, and they're taking the crate home, and my eyes start swelling up and everything as they put this crate in front of the dog, and they open it up, and a little dog comes out, and he gets a companion so he won't be sad at home and everything. And so now he's got a buddy. How many people ran to Amazon and bought crates for their dog? No one. How many went out and bought a dog for their dog? Probably no one, right? You don't buy dogs through Amazon, right? So what is the message that Amazon is sending through that commercial? Okay. So what I want you to
them, that they help solve problems.
They help solve problems. And that's exactly the point I want to make when I start this off, is that marketing is not a function, it's the whole business seen from the customer's point of view. So lately, I got to grab my notes off the printer here. Amazon has been getting a lot of negative press, okay, about the way they treat their employees, about how they're taking over everything, that Amazon is this huge conglomerate and they're shoving out the little business people, and, the ability to compete and yada, yada. And COVID made it so that they could take over, and they're not. They're being investigated for workers' comp stuff. I can just say that from the day job, that they're being investigated in numerous states, blah, blah, blah. So putting out a touchy-feely commercial makes you, oh, maybe Amazon's not so bad. You get the warm fuzzies for Amazon maybe now, that maybe they're not so bad, and they put out this nice touchy-feely commercial, right? So marketing in general is about how we want people to see us and how we want them to see our product. So it's not just about the packaging, the product inside, but how they see our company as a whole. Okay. And so when we look at things, we have to look at our customers and our product and the entire environment around it. So this stat that Denise put up the other day, I'm actually going to finish with this and blow your mind because this is no longer relevant.
Okay.
Post-COVID, it's now actually worse.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So, I mean, 48% of salespeople never follow up. All of that is still true, but it is taking more than 12 contacts is more the norm these days because our attention span is harder, worse, shorter. We're scrolling past things when we're adding in all these different things of what are considering contacts, right? People don't answer the phone. So you leave a voicemail, that's a contact. You email them, that's a contact. They scroll past an ad on Facebook, that's a contact. So, depending on how you define your contact determines whether it's going to be 5 or 20 before you finally get to them. So a lot of it depends again on the perspective of things. So let's talk about some of these. So first and foremost, we need to understand customers. Okay. We need to understand their needs, their demands, and their wants. So where we're at, this is what makes things difficult for us because our customers don't necessarily need what we might be selling, right? They may want it, and we have to show them that they want it and therefore need it and will demand it, right? So we kind of have to go backwards into this, whereas opposed to something like food, transportation, clothing, right? Those are things you need and demand. You got to have a vehicle to get to work, etc. So what we're selling, makeup, skincare, people go, well, I don't need that, but I want it. And now I'm going to demand higher quality for a good price, etc. And so we have to show them where what we have is what you want and what you demand. Okay, and show you that you need it because of what it does for you. Okay. So when we look at the consumer decision-making process, and it was when I was teaching this that my light bulb really went off and I said to Denise, we need to talk about this because this is what we should really have up in our offices to say, how do we talk to our customers? And these are where our touch points come in. Because when we look at the cultural, social, individual, and psychological factors that affect each of these steps, because again, in some cultures, in some generations, in some socioeconomic classes, the need for skincare or makeup or, whatever is going to be higher or lower, depending on how much money you have, depending on how you were raised, depending on if you're a stay-at-home mom versus someone in the corporate world, etc. So we have to look at the psychological and the cultural factors, and then we look at the need, right? What are they assessing as the need for that product? And then they're going to do an information search. And that's where we really come in. Okay, and then someone's going to evaluate their alternatives. Then they look at making their purchase. And then they have their post-purchase behavior. So that might be buyer's remorse if it was something that they didn't do good evaluation on or something like that. So let's look at kind of an extreme example. They totaled out my car back in September, October. And so I obviously had a need, right? This wasn't something I could dilly-dally about. I needed a vehicle. So I did a ton of information search, different models, different brands, different years, different accessories, engine types, all kinds of stuff. And I evaluated all my alternatives of where to go, what kind of financing, all of those things. Then eventually I went and I made my purchase. Okay. And now I've had my vehicle since October, and now my post-purchase behavior is, do I love my vehicle? Do I not love my vehicle? Would I buy it again? Do I make any changes to it? Do I add a tow package to it? Do I, put new tires on it? Whatever it may be, right? Do I get any extras? All of that kind of stuff. So when we look at this, we have this need recognition part is where we have to start making those contacts with people of showing them the need is what our pampering party facials are, whether it's the virtual or however of, let me pamper you. You need this girl time. That's how we get our foot in the door of, that's what our samples are about, is about showing someone, let me show you how you need this. Let me provide you with the information of showing you how good this product is, quality product for a quality price, so that you're not going to the mall and paying, a ton or whatever. Let them evaluate the alternatives if they want to, or provide them the information. And we've seen it plenty of time where they're like, I'm not sure, and they come back and purchase later. But one of the huge benefits we have that other places don't have is when it comes to this post-purchase behavior, is we have the guarantee, right? So we can run in and we can say, again, we can sneak in on that needs recognition and say, let me pamper you. And let me provide you the information. Let's talk about alternatives. And if you make that purchase and then you have that buyer's remorse, I got you covered. Okay. So that if they drive off the lot with the repair kit and they have an allergic reaction to it or something like that, they don't have to worry about being out, $200+. We'll still take care of them. We're not going to be like, not that they're all that way, but the used car salesman that doesn't answer the phone or, whatever, right? You're not going to get a lemon when you're purchasing a Mary Kay product. So we have to look at this decision-making process of, we have to show them the need, okay? The benefit to trying the product. And that's where, again, the parties come into play, because we don't have a storefront. Right. I always think about the years that I worked at Hickory Farms. It was the same thing. Hickory Farms had a storefront. The first thing, if you've ever been in a Hickory Farms store, first thing is we gave you a slice of beef stick, right? We wanted you to try the product. And we had the same thing. If you brought it back, even half eaten, and said, you know what, I think it's turned bad. Even if you said, I left it out on the counter for 3 weeks and it turned moldy, and we're like, well, you were supposed to refrigerate it, we'd still replace it. And everything. We had the same thing because, again, the customer and the perception that they had of us and the product was what was most important. Didn't mean they could walk all over us, but again, the product. Okay. Is that making sense?
Yep.
Okay. So we have the main 4 Ps that we look at in marketing. So when you look at what your target market is, and don't worry, I can send you guys all these slides and everything and get them up on the page. We look at the 4 main Ps, and then later I'll expand it out a little bit, but we look at our product, we look at our price, we look at the place, and we look at the promotion. Okay. So I think we're all really good at product and place, okay? And price even. We know our prices pretty well. We know our product pretty good. We may not know all the little idiosyncrasies, like, again, if we're going to do the clinical solutions night to learn about the new ones and what goes first and all the application order, but we're pretty good about knowing, repair line is for this, and and knowing our eyeshadows and lip colors and everything. Place is something that makes us unique, but we'll go to you. So this is something that can be a win for us. I think one of the areas that is a pro and a con for us is the promotion. Okay. Mary Kay's not spending $20 million to do a Super Bowl commercial, right? And we wouldn't want them to anyway, right? COVID has been a benefit for us because of the fact that people couldn't go to a storefront. So we had that ability to be online and do those things. It was a benefit for us, but we have to continue to be able to do those types of promotions. We have to be comfortable with reaching out. We don't have the ability to do like it lists in here about advertising in the press or on TV or radio or on billboards. So Mary Kay does some promotion for us. We see them in the magazines occasionally. They send out the lookbooks if you use the preferred program, or they do put them together for us so you can send them out on your own. They do the beautiful placemats. They've got all the product central stuff for us. I mean, the digital marketing, they put together beautiful stuff for us, but we truly have to be the ones doing the promoting. Okay. They're like almost like having our own little marketing agency where they're like, here, we did all this for you, but we have to be the ones doing it. Okay. So that's the P I think a lot of us are missing out on. And I'm totally guilty of it because it does take time. I try and put some graphics and stuff up on my page and all of that, but sometimes promotion is where things fall short. Okay. But it's sometimes is easier now with the technology sometimes. One of the things when you look at your marketing that everyone needs to consider is what is called SWOT. And you can do this in every area of your life, really, but it's assessing when you look at your products and you look at your competitors, what are your strengths and weaknesses, and the opportunities, and then the threats coming in from your competitors. So if we were to take some other, big name, whether it's in the drugstore or the department store, whether it's the, $2 foundation or the $40 foundations or whatever, what are the strengths? What are things that Mary Kay does well? Or even drill it down to what are things that April Scott does well with her individual company? Right? What are qualities that separate you from the other Mary Kay directors? What are your internal resources and your tangible assets? And then what are your weaknesses? What are things that Mary Kay lacks that other companies provide, or things that you're lacking? For me, it's time, right? I know that's a weakness for me. And what are things that your competitors are doing better than me, right? Some of them are better at getting out there and doing parties, right? I don't have a lot of time to do in-person parties or even virtual parties, and I know that. And that's a resource limitation, right? So listing these things out. So if you are going to do a marketing plan, which I want to kind of challenge you guys to do individual ones for yourself, kind of setting your own like marketing plan vision board, if you will, this is what you would do to help assess and flesh out what your goals are going to be. Where am I strong? Where am I weak? What are my opportunities? And what are my threats? Okay. So what are the underserved markets that I can tap into for specific products? Okay. We've got a new products coming out. These bronzers now, we're rolling into the warmer months. We've got lots of people that love these boosters, and now we've got a couple new ones to go with it. And these dark spots, man, people are loving it for reducing these dark spots. Look at some of these emerging needs for products and services in our areas. What are some new areas that we can get into? Press and media coverage, that's a little hard for us, but again, we can tap into this online stuff that we can do, kind of like when we tapped into the brides, right? And looking at those kinds of things, or when we get the booth at the fair and going to, the bridal shows or the the women's events or whatever. Those are opportunities. The threats that we see obviously are when other competitors come up, when you see the other makeup companies or the lipstick companies or something come up. Regulatory environment stuff, negative press coverage, changing customer attitudes. You know, we get the pyramid stuff every once in a while, rears its ugly head or whatever, right? Those are things that come about. Okay. And even just the challenge of running your own business in and of itself can sometimes be a threat. Okay, so looking at your SWOT can really help you kind of flesh out how you want to approach things. Okay, so I'm adding some more P's to our 4 P's. So when we look at our target market, now we want to look at, so we've got product, place, price, and promotion. We've talked about, sorry, this one's kind of blurry. Now we want to look at people, the process, and the physical environment. So people is not just your customers, but also people that can help you, people that can spread the word, all of that. So I always think about like how April and Denise carry their temptation basket to the dentist, and, you know, they go in and, you know, April's out there making a million little Christmas baskets and everything for companies and everything, where she's making one for every employee in these companies and getting these big orders and everything. So it's not just about her being a one-man show or whatever. And so think about not only how you present yourself out there, we talk about the Mary Kay image, but about who you interact with and about who you know, right? I mean, a lot about how you present yourself out in the community and the connections that you make and those interactions that you have. I donate Mary Kay to a ton of fundraisers all the time, and it always sells, you know, in these raffles. Well, people love it, and sometimes I get customers out of it later, sometimes I don't, but that's not the point, right? People are just so appreciative of it. It sends goodwill on behalf of things. So the process of what we go through. So again, when we talk about having inventory on the shelves, sure, we're not going to have everything all the time, but it's nice when we can go, yeah, I've got that, I'll bring it over tomorrow, right? That instantaneous thing says a lot for our marketing ability and the way people think about our products. The physical environment. Now, people aren't coming into a store, a physical storefront, but if they were to come into you know, April's little Mary Kay room at her house, or into Heidi's, or into Denise's new place, or anything like that, they're all very pretty, very sweet, very Mary Kay. Product is there and all stacked up beautifully and everything. So the environment is warm and inviting and still looking very Mary Kay-ish, right? Where you can still see the product and everything. So again, that whole persona that you're putting out there sends a message to your target market. All right, I want to talk for a sec about product mix. So this is where when people sit there and say, oh, why are they changing their products and everything? So it's interesting, most businesses will introduce upwards of 70 new products a year. Okay. I left my other notes downstairs. What do you know? 70 new products a year. And what this is it's either totally brand new products, okay, or it's revised products, okay, or it's a new line off of a already existing line, right? Or it's a whole new introduction into like a new country or an expansion or something like that. So it's not like saying, you know, when we say 70 new products a year, it's not like they're totally wiping out and starting all over. But if you look at like how many new products we get every year, you know, yeah, it might not be 70, but when we look at new packaging, when we look at new formulas, when we look at, like, look at when they redid all the lip glosses, each one of those new lip glosses, because it's got a new color and it's now the, you know, different formulas on them, and each one of those is considered new, right? I look at Coca-Cola, you know, you got new Coke, well, no more new Coke, but you got original Coke, you've got Diet Coke, you got Coke Zero, and then you got
Classic.
cherry Coke, you've got, you know, cherry vanilla. I saw strawberry cream the other day. You got vanilla, you've got orange vanilla, you got all that. And that's what this product mix that you're seeing on the screen is about. So when someone comes to you and goes, ah, Mary Kay only does skincare. Well, that is a product line, okay? A product line is, you know, skincare would be our greed. Our product line is skincare. And that would be one product type would be our repair. Next one would be our time wise, then our botanicals, and then, you know, our clear proof, and so on and so forth down the line. The next product line would be eye makeup, right? And that would be our eyeshadows, very much like when you go across the top of the line to order stuff, right? It's like our product line's all about. And then the depth is all of the things under that. So when if you were to pull up Coca-Cola's product mix, their product line, they have the sodas, which would be Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, and all the cherry vanillas, blah, 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 blah. And the next over is all the waters. They have like 3 to 5 different kinds of waters. They own Dasanier and a couple others. And then would be their juices. They own High C and a few others. And then their teas. They own Honesty and a few others on there. And then they own something else. So, I mean, they have like 5 or 6 product lines and then depths under that. So when we look at that, it'd be the same thing as rolling into Macy's and being like, a product line would be women's clothing. And then the product type would be dresses, pants, intimates, shirts, right? And then you could go shoes, men's, women's, children's, right? So our product mix is everything skin related, right? We've got face, we've got body, we've got makeup, we've got, you know, all of it, okay? Except we don't have anything nail related right now, pretty much, or shampoo, hair related or nail related right now, but we've had those in the past. So we can also look at even what they call subsets, which is where you get really specific. So like Nike has these subsets where they advertise specifically to different, they have 3 different subsets Nike looks at. They look at the athlete, they look at the weekend exerciser, so like the woman that goes for a hike or a fundraising 5K and then goes out to brunch with her girlfriends, so she's got to have the cute sneakers on. And then you look at the sneakerhead that collects the Air Jordans and all of that, right? So you got the marathon runner that's the serious, I need good shoes for my feet. You got the weekend warrior one that just is like, I need cute shoes to do a quick workout. And then you've got the sneakerhead that's like, I got to have the cool shoes to look cool, and I collect them by the hundreds. And they market differently to each of those subsets. So they have 3 different marketing plans for each one. So if you decide when you write a marketing plan for yourself that, okay, for the next 6 months, I really want to focus on skincare and getting skincare out to people, you would write a plan for the subset of working on getting skincare, right? If you're focusing on brides, maybe your focus is going to be on, yes, I'm going to set that base, because we always know the skincare is the palette, right? That we've got to put down that base. But your focus is going to be on the makeup, right? Eyes, lips, cheeks, right? Whatever. But knowing your target areas and building your product lines around it for that time being. All right. Now to talk about this. So if you are going to do a marketing plan for yourself as we go into this. You want to look at, get somewhat specific of like, what is the age range you're going to kind of look at, and the location, education, that kind of thing, kind of get a target market that you're looking for, how you want to promote, and again, the marketing mix of the products you want to promote. But the biggest things is, how are you going to implement it? Put together that timetable. I'm going to do Facebook blasts and set up events and put it out this way and that way. Come back and evaluate. This is always key. What worked? What didn't work? Okay, I sent out a Facebook blast and only 2 people responded. Okay, maybe I need to revise it. Maybe I need to approach differently. Maybe I need to send an email blast. Maybe I need to send them 5 different ways, right? Text, phone, email, Facebook, etc. But the key is always to come back and evaluate when you have a marketing plan, because it's super easy to say, I'm going to send out, 100 coupons in that little, we all get it in the mail, the little envelope filled with all the coupons to like do the carpet cleaning and the air duct cleaning and all of those ones, right? You can't tell me that they don't go through and see how many of those they get every month, how many people claim those. And if they don't get a decent amount, they won't do them, right? They won't keep doing them. You've got to look for the ROI, right? The return on your investment. So evaluate how this is working for you. And if you're not getting enough bang for your buck out of it, if it's not working for you, tweak something. Okay. So with that, write that all out, how you're going to do it. And if you're, if it's like, okay, 5 people responded to the email, but only 1 responded to the Facebook, you need to tweak your Facebook somehow or another, or do it differently. Or make that the way you break the ice, and then you follow up with a text or something like that. So, you never know until you get in there. Everybody responds differently, especially these days, which brings me to that idea of this article that just came out a couple of months ago, that on LinkedIn, that the standard for touches to be able to make a sell and talk with someone and again, build that rapport with them, help them do that evaluation, help them kind of do that research and everything, was 5 to 7 touches. And by the end of 2020, it had risen to 15 to 21. And now digital marketing experts are saying it's closer to 25 to 30 touches that you need to get someone to buy. And that's just because people are so bombarded. I mean, we just scroll right past all the ads, or if it's something on TV, we DVR, we fast forward right past it, or we have a streaming service and don't even look at it. It used to be when it was in a magazine, you'd at least pause for a sec and get the visual as you went by it or something, but we don't absorb like we used to. We're in such this fast pace anymore. You don't even remember what the Super Bowl commercials were a week and a half ago, right? So I mean,
Jen, what were the dates on those again for the
second half of 2020? It had risen to 15 to 21 touches. And this article just came out, I want to say it was October of 2022.
So are the rest of the stats the same? Like the 2% on the first contact, all that, but like 80% is the one you're talking about of the sales?
Yeah. The 80% to get them to win them over.
Is how many?
25 to 30 now, they're estimating.
Okay.
Yeah, because you've been bombarded with online promotions. And the amount of time that people spend online, we're overstimulated and we're distracted. So we're just not absorbing it. It's harder to get someone's attention. And people are they're really more skeptical of online promotions. So there has been so many spam and phishing and all of that kind of stuff where they, oh yeah, we've got this great new product that'll, take 2 pills and all your fat melts away. Oprah endorses it, ha ha ha, and you send them your $50 and you never get anything, right? There's a ton of those ads out there that are just scams, right? And so people just scroll, scroll, scroll. And so we want to make sure we don't get caught up in that where they think that ours is just a false product trying to scam the money out of them, right? So again, we need to make that personal. We need to show our personal touch, our personal investment with them. Okay. So before you think that you need to personally talk to someone 30 times before they're won over, let's talk about some different touch points. So, it's not about having to literally take them to coffee 30 times to get them to buy, the brush or whatever. So some of these touch points that we're talking about to get them to that point is a social media post. A long form content, which is like a LinkedIn post or a blog article or, something of substance. So something a little bit longer than just a quick post about, look at this great product with 2 or 3 sentences, right? A video, okay? Going live.
Yeah.
Email marketing, text marketing, podcasting, networking events. So again, going back to our in-person events once a month, engaging with them and commenting on their social media posts, LinkedIn newsletters, or doing our own newsletters out to people, audio rooms, which I don't really know about those. I need to research those. Your LinkedIn profile. How many of you have a LinkedIn profile?
I do.
Okay. I have a training coming up for mediation and I put our flyer out there for it. And I've probably gotten half, we've got like 12 people in the class and probably 6 of them have come off of just that post, just that flyer. Okay. 1-to-1 calls. Speaking engagements. Okay. So that's not an all-inclusive list, but it's to get you thinking outside the box where it's not like you're having to, again, call and harass someone like, have you thought about it yet? Have you thought about it yet? Have you thought about it yet? And so as busy as I am notorious for one of those people who needs those reminders. So there is a product that I absolutely love that works wonders for my hot flashes and all of that. And thank goodness they use this approach with me because I will get an email. I'm part of our Facebook group, so I'll get these reminders. Hey, Dr. Anna's going live today, or ooh, Dr. Anna's having a sale on the product you love. And I'll be like, oh yeah, it's only good till Friday. I got to remember. Then a couple days later, remember there's only 24 hours left before the sale. I'll get a text message, right? And then the next day it's like, okay, today's the last day. I'll get this email. And so, they're hitting me on all these different angles so that I won't, because I'll constantly forget until they're like, okay, 2 hours left. And I'm like, oh crap, I got to do it now, right? But it's about the 5th, 6th, 7th, maybe even 10th touch if it's been a 2-week sale, right? You should see me on Black Friday. I start planning Black Friday a month in advance. I start getting people start sending out triggers 2 months in advance for Black Friday. Because again, I'm one of those people that I have to start writing it down 2 months in advance or I'll forget because I got so much going. So think about that if you've got an event 2 months from now and you know it, start sending out those ticklers now. And again, just don't always do it the same way. Hit them a couple of different ways and be gentle about it though, and show them again the need. Okay. Questions on, I could go on for hours, but thoughts, questions?
I just love how you you talked about something that has been talked about just in bits and pieces here about like how no longer is it just making a passive text or a passive post. It's now also about like doing little lives, engaging on their pages, taking advantage of, other little touch points and, layering and kind of getting out of our comfort zone. I think we're in that time where we're just kind of one of a number of statistics that people literally, I went through today and I went, there's like 30 different email groups I need to unsubscribe to that I get stuff all the time for, and you get bombarded and you miss the stuff you really want to see. So I think we have to kind of stand out. And Heidi's talked about that before, how we need to do a little bit more personalization and lives. And I love that. I wrote down all these ideas of things that you shared. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I've been unsubscribing to a lot. That was one of my New Year's resolutions because I get so inundated with my promotions section of my Gmail and everything that I miss a lot of stuff. And so, but then again, one of the other things is it does really help me to make up a quote unquote marketing plan for myself to be able to really focus. Again, it is just like making up a goal setting of sorts for yourself for the next quarter or 6 months or whatever, but it really helps put on track. Okay, I'm going to do, email about Mother's Day coming up, and I'm going to do them on these dates. Get yourself a little calendar. I mean, that's what actual businesses do, is they pull up a calendar, and in pink they put these are the email dates, and in purple they put these are the text dates, and and so it's all there right in front of you as to what days you're going to do what things for the next 2 months to promote Mother's Day or graduations or whatever. And that plan is right there in front of you now, and it's set and ready to go. I mean, that is a marketing plan. And again, Mary Kay gives us all the tools, but we truly have to be our own marketing team for ourselves. So.
And they give us so many different things that we can put as posts. So thank you so much. I wrote till my fingers sore. I did write everything down that I could possibly write down. It was a little blurry. Thank you for putting the time and effort into that and breaking it down into a way that's, for different personalities take things differently. And I was just like, oh yeah, I love it. My C personality was information junkie. Give me more. And I really like the idea of the marketing plan vision board. That was something that I'd never really considered before. We do vision boards for our dreams and our goals and financial and, relational or whatever, but marketing plan, that's another thought. So I like that new spin, and I like thinking outside the box, and so grateful that COVID made us do that and expand our thinking and getting out of the box, just looking for different ways to be efficient and to be in front of our customers. And I still think that all of those things, you said one-to-one calls, but that's like, to me, when you send out other stuff, the call is the reason to, is to tell them, hey, I sent this to you. Did you get it? I get
it's more of a follow-up. Yeah.
Facebook by events and like this page or follow this page, or someone's inviting you to this group. And it's like, I don't know what that group is. And I really don't know who you are. I know you're my friend on Facebook, but I really don't know you. So I didn't get a personal message. I didn't get anything. I'm not going to join that group. I have way too many on there already. So it's, I think, crucial to do that one-on-one still. I'm just all about the face-to-face, knee to knee, nose to nose. Mary Kay knew what she was doing. And because we are so inundated with swiping and scrolling, we are losing that personal touch, and people are becoming convoluted on what they're looking at on there as reality. So having an honest, genuine, real conversation with people, I think that's part of I'm off topic, sorry, but I think you did a great job. Sorry.
Thank you. Well, and one thing, I mean, I could spend a whole other time on it, is that, there's a life cycle of a business and a product of, you grow and then you even off and you decline unless you start introducing or revising your products. And whenever you introduce new stuff, you have your people who want to be the first ones to get it. And then you have your next people, you have your innovators that want to be the first ones. And then you have your lollygaggers at the end that eventually go, okay, fine, I'll jump on board and get it. And really what we want to see, for lack of a better term, is when we come out with new things, like when we go, hey, we got new boosters coming out. We want people, the visual of lining up at the iPhone store, being like, oh, the next one's coming out, the next one's coming out, right? I mean, those are the innovators that whenever they hear there's a new iPhone coming out, they're camping out in front of the store for 3 days beforehand because they want to get the new coolest thing out there. It's just another iPhone, right? But iPhone has marketed it so well, and that buildup they do over 2 months leading up to it, oh, it's the new one. And it's like, it's just a better camera. It's just a better, but
And they never
again,
discount their product either.
right?
They know the value of their product.
It's true.
And so that's the kind of thing that we need to be like, you can get this first. And look, all your friends are going to be like, oh my gosh, your skin looks so amazing. And you could be like, thank you, I got it from Mary Kay, and you could be the one that's glowing in the room because you've got the new booster first, right? And, that is a marketing thing for sure, to let them be the innovator, the first one to get it. Yeah,
Great job,
lots
Jen.
of stuff. Like I said, it's a
Jen-
whole semester.
Jen, I just want to affirm you. I know that this is like what you do for a living. Like you are a trainer and this is like your calling, but I love it when you train for us. I appreciate it so much. You're always so thorough and so professional and have all the facts, and I absolutely love it. And you guys, like, also just to reiterate, like at the beginning where she was talking about the Amazon commercial and building that trust, like we have to build really good trust with our customers. If you're not seeing them face to face, really the only place they're getting that is through your social media, right? And so showing up authentically, going live, like she said, like doing your makeup and having a talk about something, like these are things that I'm wanting to implement into my business. So I'm speaking to myself too, but it's like that's where we're going to get their trust for the new people that you might not be meeting face to face, but you're getting them pulled in through your social media. But Jen, I just love it when you train. So thank you so much for putting that together tonight.
You bet. I'll have to do another one before too long because I've been learning quite a bit about Instagram and the modeling world and having to tag each other and all of that. That's been very insightful the last
Okay, we
couple
want
weeks.
that. Can you take this screen share off so we can all see each other?
Well, no, because I'll just.
Oh, I didn't know if you were done yet. I didn't know if you were done.
Well, no, I have my slide. I put them on slides, but I don't need them on slides for the.
Oh, I didn't know if you were done. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I have just my closings. I'll
you
just
go right
read
ahead.
my closings now.
Go
That's
ahead.
all good. All right. Anything else, ladies?
I didn't mean to interrupt because I knew you were going to do the motivational close, but
No.
I just wanted to.
Anything else before I do it though?
No, but I'm excited about the whole Instagram thing because I know we've done many before of them, and it's becoming more and more vital that we get savvy with that.
It is. It really. I'm still trying to figure a bunch of it out. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll try and figure it out. That's for sure. So, all right. Inspirational clips. Oh, I'm going to put it up anyway because they're fun-ish. Let's see. Get back to this. Just because they go with the theme. Your inspirational close for this evening. People do not buy goods and services. They buy relations, stories, and magic. And if your stories are all about your products and services, that's not storytelling. It's a brochure. Give yourself permission to make the story bigger.
Ooh, I love that.
Both of them are.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's
Again, women are very, very much about nurturing and storytelling. And yeah, sure, we're about facts. But again, we are about building that rapport and making those connections. And so our goods and services are about making those connections. It's not about, look at my pretty little box I have here, right? That's not what it's about. It's
Women
about, I
don't
know how
care.
busy you are, and I know, all
Yeah.
of that.
Women don't care about the name of the ingredient that's brightening their skin and how to say it right. They care that you tried it and you loved it and your skin's brighter and you have something cool to talk about because you already are in love with it, and they want it because you said it works.
Right. And they can still afford to put braces on their kids and pay for something that makes their skin look good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about the stories and the magic.
Mary
That
Kay
will
had
help.
that one dialed in.
Yep. Yep. All right, ladies, that's all I have.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Jen. Does anybody else have any feedback for her?
That was so good and so helpful. I was writing, I have like pages of notes, and you're so professional, and I really appreciate all your ideas.
Thank you.
This is good. I've never even thought about writing a marketing plan. That kind of seems obvious, but not to me. So thank you. That's really good.
Absolutely. Anytime. And I'll get these slides over so that we can get them up on the page, and then Heidi will get the YouTube done. So yeah.
That was awesome, Jen.
That's awesome.
Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure.
Can't wait to have you back again soon. For real.
Mhm.
All right, everybody. Have a wonderful, fantastic week. We'll see you
Last
next
week of February.
Let's get some action happening.
Happy Fat Tuesday.
Oh, it is, huh? Okay.
Bye, ladies. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.